Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I am Will. I'm joined by my co-host over here, the Greeze. Say hello, Greeze.
And I'm joined by my coach right over here,
Your coach?
Willie Wonka.
I think you said coach. You slurred through co-host. You said, I'm here with my coach.
Well,
I'm here with Willie Wonka.
I'm very tired, Will. You're tired too. We're all tired.
It was a long weekend.
We really went for it this weekend.
That's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to walk through what we did. If you follow us on social media at The Real Greeze or at the podcast, you saw quite a few shenanigans, a lot of activities in Kansas City, Missouri. And we're going to tell you all a little bit about our trip that we got to go on. We got to hang out with some podcasters, got to drink some fine whiskey, have some good cocktails, and have a grand old time.
Yep. We sure did.
Yeah. So
we saw some old people. We saw some new people. Old, like as in like.
We saw some
seasoned.
Old people too. Yeah.
No, I don't mean seasoned.
Really old.
We saw some old, longtime friends.
Yeah.
And then seasoned people.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a difference between those.
So if you're watching online on YouTube, thanks for watching. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up. It helps it get served to more people. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. Ring the bell. And if you want to support us, patreon.com/thepodcast, or if you want any of our barrel picks, go to oakenthieves.com. Friday night. Friday afternoon, we left our office. We left work.
Well, I barely got to go because I couldn't find my wallet.
It did start off when I ran to Guitar Center to grab a cable for like speakers that I couldn't find. And you said, I'm running home to look for my wallet. You even text Patrick and said, is my wallet at your house?
I did. Were you on that thread?
No, he just told me about it.
And I was Patrick, I can't even text Patrick in
the one
confidence.
Okay, mister, if your text did anything, it gets shared on the internet publicly very quickly.
Screenshot.
Yeah.
I have started asking people if that's okay.
Rarely.
Yeah, I mean,
rarely. So you finally did find your wallet, so you were able to travel with us. You could have just grabbed your passport as well. That's a thing you can do.
I was coming home. I had to come home regardless because I didn't have either one.
Didn't you used to have one of those Apple chips on your wallet so you could find it?
I got a new wallet.
Well, I think the old wallet was better for you because you had the tracking device.
Because it's in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico.
What?
You
never told this.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So,
okay.
So the AirTag thing.
Yeah.
It kept coming out.
Okay.
And so it was worthless anyway. And then I was on the cruise and I don't know, something happened with that little. I love this little thing. Like you push the button down and like your cards just fly up.
This sounds like a disaster waiting to happen.
No, I loved it. No, but that knob broke off.
Oh.
So I'm like, my AirTag doesn't go in there. Now I can't even get my cards out because I'm pounding this thing trying to get my cards out, and I finally do.
Packing a pack of Marlboros.
Right. I'm trying to get
them cards back in.
Trying to get that seventh line down there on the tobacco. All right.
I just need a Costco card real bad.
No. So I grab the wallet. Yeah. I go out on my balcony and I throw it in the ocean.
I was upset. You're an unstable human.
And you know what I did?
That's not okay.
Why is that not okay?
First of all,
no, because I mavericked the crap out of it. I was like,
not okay.
I did hum that.
Some sea turtle is going to die now because of you.
Well, you know,
they're going to find your AirTag in it. It's going to be linked back to your Apple account.
No, there's no AirTag in it. The AirTag fell out. I kept the AirTag.
Yeah, whatever.
No, if that turtle decides to eat my wallet, they deserve each other.
Okay.
That's stupid.
You're stupid. Can't believe you walked on your balcony.
I can't believe that this brown square is a fish. It just came out of nowhere right into my daggum arms. Turtles don't have arms.
You literally think the best idea is to go on your balcony on a cruise ship and throw
because I wanted to
sing
the Top Gun anthem.
That's not okay.
It is okay.
It's actually not okay. I'm not okay.
I didn't get arrested.
I mean, now that
can you get arrested for throwing a wallet in the ocean?
You could probably be detained.
I was detained. I was on a boat.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm not okay with it. So we did go to the airport once you had your wallet, and we go through security. Everything's going fine, and we got there early. We were able to go. This was amazing. The 3 casks or 3 barrels or whatever it's called, the Tennessee Whiskey Trail restaurant and whiskey bar, where I said I purchased a bottle before going to Maine was the stop next to our gate. We were at C20. And
Oh,
it was right before
There's no way for us to miss our flight.
Yeah. So with you, there's always a way.
Okay.
But so we went there. We got some cocktails. I had a double Jack and Coke. You had a
double Jack and ginger.
Patrick,
let me go ahead and tell you something. They were not skimpy.
A beer
that had some. I was like, man, I am tasting a lot of liquor in this.
Yeah.
And it's 80 proof with ice in it. I was like, man,
but it was great. We had I had a giant pretzel. You had some nachos.
I did have some nachos.
The pretzel had this George Dickel mustard that was fantastic. I wish that you could buy like a jar of it there. It's really good.
You can buy a bottle.
Well, you can buy a bottle of George Dickel, but not necessarily the mustard.
Right.
So
that was great. A menu there of like bottles that you can just buy.
Yeah, you can. It's all Tennessee bourbons and Tennessee whiskeys and ryes, and you can. They have like the QR code thing pulls up all the menus, but they have bottles to go.
Yeah,
they put it in a tamper-proof bag because you're not, supposed to technically open it on the airplane, and they've cracked down on that really a lot since COVID.
So I think it's near like C20.
Our gate was C20. It's
in
right
Nashville.
before it. Yeah, there's also like barista parlors right there too. There's a lot of good stuff in that C terminal now. So
so if you're going through Nashville, got a layover,
check it out.
Plan your trip.
Or if you're leaving
near
C20, go a little early and go to the whiskey bar.
Yeah, we got there a little bit early.
So that was good. And then we got on the plane and we took our seats, and the flight attendant comes through. We were in an exit row, as you do.
Right.
And
freaking clutch.
The flight attendant comes through and is asking everyone the question, like, are you willing and able to assist in an emergency? And everyone does the appropriate thing and says, yes, yes, yes. And it gets to Greeze, and he goes, for those of you listening, he just winked at her. And then she went on to Patrick, and I go, excuse me, I'm going to need you to get audible confirmation from him. And so she's like, oh, yeah, sorry, that is the rule. She was like a little flustered from your wink.
No, she wasn't flustered. She was flirtatious.
That's called she was flustered. She got flustered by it.
Flustered is when like people flirt with you?
Yeah, she got flustered, like, ooh, like all, I was going to say hot and bothered, but I don't know if it got
I
that far.
I need to rein back my use of the word flustered.
Yeah. So that happened. Then drink service comes, and it gets to me. I brought a little cocktail kit. I put up a reel about me making it today. Yeah. But I brought a little cocktail kit, and I was making it for our whole row, making old fashions.
Well,
and
our side of the plane row.
Yeah, our three seats. You, me, and Patrick.
Hey,
like just
hey, yo, what's some old fashions? Let's get some fashies in here. Let's go. Which, by the way, I love the word fashy.
Yeah, well, that's like
Cam kind of came up with that, right?
Right. It was an inside joke from a text thread.
Right.
Fashy. Yeah. Our buddy Cam calls them fashies.
I want people to start using the word fashy.
So she gets to us though and says, you want anything to drink? And I say, I'll have a cup of ice and a wild turkey. And she goes, I knew this was coming, just as, as that's how it was. She knew 100% what was coming. And
yeah,
we went through many of those wild turkeys on the way to Kansas City.
5 of them.
And then Patrick had a beer on the plane, I think.
But she did tell him to chug it.
Oh, yes, she did. At the end, she's like, hey, we're about to land. And he actually had plenty of time. And she goes, we'll come back by, but you may want to chug it. And so he literally just chugged it. And then she got back. She goes, no, you still have time. And he's like, oh, I chugged it. She said to. She's like, oh, whoops. So that happened. We landed. This is all pre getting to Kansas City.
Yeah.
We landed. Our buddy Corey picked us up at the airport.
Clutch
Corey Reeves.
Corey.
He's awesome.
Corey is what I just said.
He's the guy, if you have heard us talk about before, one, he does the cool art. He's a part of many of the things we do. And he also does the Good Booze, Good News YouTube series periodically. He hasn't done one in a while. We need to get him back on that. But
he's had some things.
He's a great guy. And so it was really exciting to get off the airplane in that tiny 1945 airport that they've retrofitted to somehow have security in it. And we walk off the plane. There he is. We got our bags and got in his truck, and we went to our hotel. And he and our buddy Jamie Coons, who's also from Wamego, Kansas area where Corey is, was there as well. We got like a 5 to 10 minute lay down on the bed real quick and then had to jump up and run to go to dinner. We went and got some Kansas City barbecue.
We did.
Jack Stacks.
Jack Stacks.
Yeah. It was good. They had
was good.
great service.
Like
the most
service.
Incredible service I've ever seen.
It's managed well.
Like you'd order a beer and all of a sudden, boom, it's
Yeah.
there. Or Jamie ordered a double of this local double oaked whiskey.
Right.
And I posted that in Podcasters today.
Oh, yeah.
And it literally was a whole rocks glass.
This is smaller than the glass he had.
Yeah.
And it
all the way to the top. He got
there was a little bit left.
He probably had 6 ounces or more of whiskey in there.
Yes.
Easily
Yes.
had that. So that was great.
Apparently a single pour there is 3 ounces.
So that was a solid pro tip there. We had some burn-ins. We had some
drinking some age stated Old Taylor from Joe B, by the way.
Oh, pour me some of that. We had some
now that it's from Joe B, you'll have some.
We had some barbecue chicken wings that were delicious.
Oh, those were great. Those were fabulous. The jalapeno cornbread, freaking stellar.
With honey butter on it.
I didn't drink anything there. You just had
a
couple of beers. No, I didn't because
I think I had 2 like Pilsners or something. You know, sometimes when I'm eating like a hearty meal, I don't want whiskey with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I only want whiskey.
Barbecue and beer goes really
during
well together.
Appetizers.
Yeah, I can see that, but not like golly, you drink so much water, aggressive amounts of water.
I was trying to prepare myself because I knew exactly where we were headed.
Yeah, things were going down later that night. And yeah,
the next morning.
What do you mean?
Well into. We were up till 3 a.m.
No, I know, but I'm saying things started going down very quickly after.
Yeah, and that was 5:30.
Our Uber to the restaurant,
we almost drank.
Was a guy in a minivan.
We drank for 9.5
named
hours.
Robert, and he did not speak. He just listened to EDM very loudly with the windows down.
Was that EDM? Like it was so. It was bizarre is what it was.
It was, I would not know how to find that channel.
Let me tell you how to not write a song.
It was weird.
Here comes the drop.
Yeah, it was intense. And I like I said, I wouldn't know how to find that channel on like.
It was like if
anything.
Skrillex was a worship band. That's what it sounded like.
There was too many lyrics.
Yeah.
There was too many lyrics for the type of music.
It was bad. It was not great. And he was in his own world. He did not give a rip.
Yeah.
Although he was very nice. He dropped us off on the other side of the door. The food was great. Now we're headed to a speakeasy, Will.
Yeah, we went to a place called PS. It's in the bottom of the Hotel Phillip. That's a Hilton Curio Collection, like historic hotel. It's gorgeous.
It is.
It has this really grand staircase.
Oh,
it has like this statue, like very Art Deco in the middle of it. But you walk in and you go up to the front desk. You have to have reservations for the speakeasy, but you walk in and you speak to the people at the front desk, and that you either get checked in for your hotel or say you have a reservation there. We were early. Greeze flirted with the lady at the front desk by asking, do your Angry Bird thing. He said, she goes, we're too early. And Greeze goes, are you sure? Have you looked for a party of 5 for Angry Bird? And then do what you did.
It was like, I was sweaty too. So it was
fluffed up your hair and you did a little.
And I was like, oh,
chicken
excuse
dance
me,
kind of
ma'am.
thing.
Do you have the reservation 5 for Angry Bird?
That's just ridiculous.
and
it broke her. Yeah, she laughed.
Oh, it broke her.
And we got to go in early. It's really dark down there. They move a panel from the wall behind the front desk, and you go down into the basement, and then it's a beautiful dark bar. It's moody. They were playing like jazz covers of like Pink Floyd and like other songs like that. It was interesting.
Yeah.
But we had these barrel-aged Manhattans that were fantastic. Absolutely great. It was like a $25 cocktail. And then I had an old fashioned that was, it was bourbon and rye. Then they had walnut and burnt orange bitters. It had Amaro Nonino in it. So it had like even more bittering to it, and then it had honey simple syrup.
Yeah,
and it had so much going on. I loved it though. It was really, really good.
The old fashioned was very complex. It was like you're gonna get something here, and then that honey finish was just like,
yeah, it was really good.
It just it was, I mean, some thick honey in there,
right?
Because it just lingered.
So we were there for a minute. We had a couple.
I had the
drinks
barrel
there.
aged Manhattans.
I had that. I started with that,
which were killer. By the way, Jamie Coons, thank you for treating us to that, because that was
he picked up the tab, which was super kind and gracious of him, and they were.
I didn't even know what the prices were until you told me after we got back to Nashville.
Literally said them right next to the drink you ordered. So
yeah, I don't know if I looked at the menu.
Well, you did, because you knew to order a barrel aged Manhattan. And that's not something that rolls off your tongue typically.
I think I said, I'm just going to do the old fashioned. Like, nope, I want a Manhattan. That's what I told her. I don't think I looked at it.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Well,
we all did.
Sure.
Anyhow. So then we
I don't look at prices.
All of a sudden we were there for an hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
And then Jamie's like, you know what? I need something a little more. This ain't my speed. So we got up and we went down to the Power and Light District.
He just was getting pissed because he was getting sleepy.
Yeah, because it was so peaceful.
And Jamie's like, I don't sleep when I drink.
He wants to get up and go.
Let's just go.
So we got up and we went to the Power and Light District, which is kind of like their party district. It has 2 floors of bars. There's like a stage. There's like a DJ going on. We went to we walked right into a bar. What is it called? McGuire's or McFadden's? It was McFadden's, I think. And we walk in and he walks straight up to the bar and orders 4. There were 5 of us, right? You, me, Corey, Jamie, and Patrick.
Yes.
Orders 5 beers, which were
32
ounce beers, like humongous beers.
Yes.
And in 4 shots, and hands them
5
out.
shots.
Sorry, 5 shots of Vegas.
And we were like,
bombs.
what on God's green? Number one, I'm not even going to tell people that we had shots, okay? Because
Jamie wanted
the Vegas shot is
the Vegas bomb.
Vegas bomb is Crown Peach, Malibu rum, and Red Bull.
It
let me go ahead.
So dang good.
after the Red Bull and the Malibu, you're sitting at like 30 proof.
Yeah,
probably for this shot. No wonder it's like fancy girl wasted.
Well, we had like several of them, so
we did. We were like, oh my God, we love it.
Then we went to another bar, and then we tried to go to this pizza place, but the line was out the door. It said like pizza and liquor bar. And so we tried to get something there, but they were out of like
everything,
nearly every spirit, which shows you the consumption that goes down in Kansas City.
They had High Life and Miller Lite.
They did have the champagne of beers, so we had a couple of those, and I got you.
But literally, like I'm halfway through
Soko and lime shot, which was that was known as the
you did shot. That, and then Patrick's like, "Oh, I'm gonna mess y'all up."
That was hilarious, sweet baby Patrick.
Well, no, so they were out of
everything.
They were out of everything, so he's just like, "What about?"
He almost ordered absinthe shots.
Yes,
which would have been hilarious. That actually, That would have been a good troll. Yeah, I mean, it would have. I would have been like, "Good on you, Patrick. Good job, bud." Corey's watching.
You just see Greeze out there, just like swatting imaginary flies.
Corey goes, "There was so much booze."
Oh man,
my favorite.
Not as much good news, but a lot of
my favorite thing about Corey was that we had, and this is where you always set yourself up for
Corey.
Failure.
Just had sugar issues. He didn't have alcohol issues.
This is where you set yourself up for failure. Whenever you, at any point in the night, have a discussion like Corey did, where he's just like, I'm always like a half drink behind people. That way I don't ever look like I'm like wasted or anything.
Right.
And it's like, he skipped 3 or 4 heads at some point. It was incredible.
He did the, I'll be the line leader tonight, y'all.
So we were out there for a while, and then we went back. I mean, we hung out just sitting at a table chatting for a long time, which was great.
Couple hours.
And then we went back to the hotel. We got some Doritos from the front desk and some Powerades. Then we went up to their room, and Jamie just wanted to keep the party going. He busted out some Elijah Craig Toasted. And so we were just drinking that in his room.
I have some of the rum. He gave us some rum too. I got it in the
Oh, nice. And then Corey, like, he was like dead man walking at that point. He's like getting everything ready for bed and then lays down in bed on top of it. Like, he took so long to prepare for bed and then just laid down on top of the bed and went to sleep. I took a photo, but I, out of respect for Corey, deleted it. So,
oh yeah, you did show me that photo.
yeah, I showed the Greeze and then deleted it, never to be seen again. So
Yeah.
that's for him. So that was great. And then we went to bed and we woke up the next morning. We got to sleep in a little bit, went to a great bagel shop, and then went and set up for Outlaw Days in Kansas City for the Kansas City Outlaws pro bull riding team, which is the part of the new team series of PBR.
Yeah.
We did live sphere, as they say in like the Disney World. There were like line dancers, and there was this band that was incredible. That it's a husband and wife duo. They're called Team Ragoza, if I'm saying
yeah.
that
She
right.
used to tour with Michael Jackson,
and he's an incredible DJ. So he's
he's like
DJing,
won like big competitions,
and she's playing like rock guitar parts
Just
the
shredding.
entire time, and she just has the biggest smile on her face. They are so talented, and I could have watched them for hours. They played a set there, a set inside the arena, and then 2 hours afterwards.
Yeah.
They played all night.
Yeah, they did.
We did a live podcast. We had some bull riders on the show. You'll get to see that on YouTube soon whenever we edit it. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
What's your takeaway from that?
From the bull rider interview?
Yeah.
Number one, there was a guy with his jaw wired shut.
Yeah, it was one of the bull riders.
It was one of the bull riders because like the day before he got kicked in the face or something.
It was a week before, but that's fine.
A week before.
The other bull rider was not cleared yet to ride because his neck and ribs.
Right.
And
we got kicked in the head.
And he's just like, oh, I mean, I'll be ready to do it again soon. I should be cleared the next week or so.
Yeah, he was just like, man, I'm ready. Let's go. No. So
he said he couldn't watch bull riding the entire first couple months because he was in like an immobilizing neck brace.
Yeah.
And would get so fired up that he couldn't watch it. He gets so fired up and just want to go do something that he just had to stop watching it for a couple months.
Oh.
And I'm just like, he just wanted to get at it.
All right. So the first thing that I took away from that was I did talk to Dalton and say, I know you've got a wired mouth, but I heard you're on a liquid diet. Does that include whiskey?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, we're not supposed to have whiskey before an event.
Before an event, we're not allowed. He said, we're not allowed to drink whiskey or beer or anything before we ride, before an event.
Yeah. But he looked at me and he said, but we are the Outlaws.
He's like, we don't follow rules.
So
we poured up.
We get to do what we want.
Some Pendleton 20 year.
Yeah.
Which we got.
Yeah.
So Pendleton is a big sponsor of pro bull riding. And the
whiskey brand, just so everybody
the
knows.
whiskey Pendleton, and it's Canadian whiskey. We had not really had much Pendleton, but we got some for the tasting we were doing. We did a free whiskey tasting for people after we did our podcasting, and the Pendleton 20 year, it's $200, so it's very expensive, but it was so good, so good. It reminded me a lot of like that Tarak Crown Royal pick that had the vanilla pipe tobacco to it. There was no harshness, no aggressiveness. It was just so sweet and good.
I think I have it over there.
You brought it back? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You should be drinking that right now.
Oh no. I don't have the 20 year.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. I didn't bring the 20 year.
Yes,
back.
you did. Yes, I packed the Pelican. It's in the Pelican. Yes, 100%. It is in the Pelican.
I don't think it is.
I packed it. I packed it in the Pelican.
Yeah, but I didn't pack any open bottles.
Yes,
I
packed 2 open bottles and set them upright.
I can't wait to show Will.
Well, why did you swap it out?
I didn't swap nothing.
Yeah, I packed the Pendleton in there.
That was just to transition. And
so then you did unpack it.
When I got to the hotel
just said
room?
I didn't unpack nothing.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
I did.
Well, why did you do that?
Because if an open bottle goes on a plane,
wrap it up in in a washcloth real tight.
In a washcloth.
Or you should have gone and gotten some duct tape at that daggum market that we went and got.
Do you even whiskey ship, bro?
this isn't shipping.
It's airplaning.
Yeah. It's traveling with a good friend. So anyhow, the Pendleton 20 was great. We drank it. The other guy, Kyler, who's number 10 in the world. Dalton's number 6 in the world. Kyler, he was like, I mean, I can't ride. I'm not cleared yet. So just keep pouring it. He kept getting more. And then we poured a couple more things.
Dalton even had another one.
Oh, yeah. He was ready to roll.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. They told us some great stories, really humorous. That my favorite thing is when we asked if they, the team series is new. We asked if they had a rival already. And they go, oh, yeah, it's Oklahoma. And we're like, oh, because like the proximity to here, like to Kansas City.
I was like, that seems natural.
Yeah. And he goes, oh, no. We've just already been in a fight with them.
Yeah. Preseason fight.
Yeah. Yeah. We already fought them. And it was like, oh, okay. What was that about? I was like, well, 3 grown men thought they were right about something they weren't. Like, oh, all right. They're the real deal.
That was the most confident way of saying that they won a fight.
Yeah.
Well, 3 grown men thought that they were right. They weren't.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that seems like an older guy would say that.
Oh,
but this dude's like 23.
Yeah, they both were 23. The youngest
They're
guys
old
on
souls,
the team
though.
was 18, and there was a 19-year-old.
Yeah, the 19 had the daggum.
They're incredible. Fu Manchu.
I guess.
Yeah, that's the Fu Manchu.
Yeah, it just stops here.
Yeah. Or is that a handlebar?
I'm not handlebar.
It's Andy Payne with the $10 super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says Dalton is named after Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse. Would not be surprised if that were the case.
Yeah. I mean that
Dalton Castle.
I feel like that checks out.
They were really cool. They're very soft spoken, which I feel like if you are a rodeo cowboy, and you don't have to be a man of many words. It's like the opposite of Greeze.
Yeah.
It's like all of your words are, I ride this bull.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma, you're wrong about this.
Well, I started off with like, you're number 6 and number 10 in the entire world. And he goes, number 1 in your heart. And I was like, well, yep, it is now.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to tell you that you're not.
So funny.
They
were great. And then we were out there hanging out, pouring whiskey for people. We did have a great chat with the homeless fella.
Oh God. Before we get to that, because it's unbelievable.
It was so good.
No, I told the Cowboys, I said, look, I was like, I only want to accomplish 2 things today. And that's not have y'all beat me up, or to not piss you off, and to not have y'all beat me up.
Yeah.
Those are my 2 goals.
Yeah.
And I told Dalton, I said, I'm going to need you to give me a heads up when things are getting close. I was like, I just want you to smack the table.
Yeah.
He smacked the table once, and he meant it for a joke, but it wasn't that funny.
I don't think got it. I don't think you remembered the joke you had made earlier.
Well,
that's the way I took it, because I knew 100% what he was saying.
You can't joke about that.
Well, you can.
Those were my 2 biggest fears.
Cowboys.
That was my 2 biggest fears of the moment.
Yeah.
And you can't
stamp it. You really can.
Well,
if you can do what you want, if you're a part of the Kansas City Outlaws.
Do what you want, man.
So we're out there. We still don't know what this event is going to be like inside when we go in the rodeo arena. They had a Friday night thing, but we were out with friends, so we didn't go Friday night. When the Saturday was the one we were really looking forward to.
Somebody ban that naked HD.
Yeah, there's a spam bot.
Cody, you get it.
So then we decided to go for it and go across the street and get a roast beef sandwich from this food truck. It was fantastic. We had cheese fries. We're so happy. It's very hot outside, and we get over there, come back, and we start eating before we're going to do this tasting. And this very kind homeless fella approaches the table.
Overly kind.
And he's like, oh, what y'all got going on here?
And of course, I said, we're going to be pouring some free whiskey.
And he goes, I love liquor.
I love liquor.
And then
I was like, what whiskeys do you like? He's like,
I normally drink vodka because it's cheaper.
Because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Not
And
because
so-
it's not because like he has like an aversion to dark liquors.
No, he's just like, I normally drink
I was
vodka
like,
because it's cheaper.
It's cheap.
And then he's like,
Like
free?
he was,
Really? You gonna do free whiskey, huh?
Yeah.
I'll have to come back and try me some of that.
He's like, I gotta hit this baseball, or I gotta hit the baseball game, and then
I'm going to the Royals game today. And I'm like, I don't believe that. But then he was really interested.
He
in
went
our
to go up
food.
there and work it.
No, he said, I'm going to it. I do not think he was employed.
No.
Oh, you mean
no.
like begging?
Work the crowd.
Got it. You are not wrong. Now
No.
that I put that together.
Yeah.
But he did say he was very interested in our food. He's like, that food looks great. Where'd you get it? We're like, literally right there. You can go get it. How much are each of your items?
Yeah, you just have to itemize it.
We're like,
It says it right there.
It's
on the
right over
sign.
there. Go over there and look. And he's like,
That sounds like we were being mean. We were not mean.
we just wanted to eat in peace. And then my
it
favorite,
got annoying after 5 minutes.
and then he's like, well, where are y'all from? We're like, Nashville. He's like, what do you think of Kansas City? And we're like, it's great. Yeah, we're having a great time. And so Greeze and I both say it. Patrick was over it. He just wanted to eat in peace.
Patrick was about to fight somebody.
And so
Not necessarily that guy, but somebody. He had a rage happening in him. I mean, he's just sitting here just eating this roast beef sandwich, and I've never seen a human hate eat like that before in my life. But anyway, he ended up leaving, and I was like, Patrick, are you okay? He's like, bro.
But so right then, after he asked us what we thought of Kansas City,
Yeah.
he turned to Patrick and he goes, you didn't answer me. What do you think of Kansas City?
Oh yeah, no.
It was,
And he was like, they already answered you.
he's like,
He
it's
was-
he,
he
he
was
finally moved on
he
and
was over it.
maybe went and got some cheese fries. Maybe he didn't.
Before that, though, he does pull the old, hey, I'm so and so, nice to meet you. I'm in the middle.
Yeah, he tried to shake Grease's hand.
I'm literally pounding cheese fries in a roast beef sandwich, and he wants to shake my hand. I was like, bro, I'm gonna have to give you an elbow this time.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm sorry.
So good.
He didn't
So
even.
good.
He didn't even bother reaching over the table for your
There, I would have said, I'm not shaking your hand. I don't like shaking hands. I don't like people. Mostly.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's real fair. I do shake hands, but I typically do shake hands, but I don't walk up to people as strangers and be like, "Hey man, what's up?" Shake my hand.
Right. Especially mid.
Like if
cheese
it's
fry bite.
if it's a friend of a friend that's introducing
First of all,
you,
when you're eating cheese fries, that's a full finger event. You have to lick all the cheese off that gets all up in the fingers. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So you got to go for it. You got to really get up in there.
Gotta go.
And so you're not
You gotta
shaking
do it.
hands when you're cheese friesing, you know?
Right.
So we did a great
Yeah.
tasting. We had a lot of local spirits. I really like that Mean Mule, basically Kansas City tequila. I'm gonna have to get Corey to mule me one.
Yeah, those are pretty good. Honestly,
because it's only
very surprised with
only
the Kansas City market.
Kansas City, Missouri, and New York is the only place Mean Mule is. But yeah, even the Union Horse was good.
Yeah.
The Rieger was good.
Yeah.
The Pendleton obviously wasn't, but even we had a 12-year rye from Pendleton. We had some really good spirits we'd never normally buy.
It's Canadian, right? Canadian, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I believe
so.
yeah.
But it's 12-year age stated. It's lower proof, but it had a lot of flavor. We went back, got ready to go to the arena since we'd been outside all day. We changed clothes when we went to the arena for the event, for the rodeo. And this new team series is one of the most incredible things I've ever seen.
Yes.
Like, I've been to rodeos before. I've never been to a PBR event, but I'd go to like the Seminole County Fair and they'd have the rodeo in Orlando. Like Apopka, Florida has a lot of like people that ride bulls. It's very Western, very country. And that was not far from where I live. So I knew some kids growing up actually that did bull riding. But I had been to like county fair rodeos, that type of thing, and never saw it as something I could get really invested in, because mainly it's like you just see people you don't know go one after the other riding the bull, and it's just kind of like you have no real motivation.
A city
unless
even
you're
doesn't have a
really
connection
into it.
unless that bull rider is from that city.
Right, exactly.
This changes that.
This does change it. It becomes a team sport. There's 10 teams in the league, and the host city, all 10 teams are there, and then they go to the next one. In the season, I think they'll go to all 10 cities, and then
it's 3 days.
That's the end of it. 3 days. They
have a win-loss column, and then it's basically a tournament every week. Every weekend
you play a game against one of the other teams. It's head-to-head, and the way they do it is that we'll say Kansas City was against Nashville on the night that we went.
Right.
And that Nashville will go first, and then Kansas City will go second. And they go back and forth 5 riders at the same time.
These challenges that you use that I still don't understand.
Well, they score it based off if you complete the ride, so you get to 8 seconds, then the judges score it.
Right.
That goes in your points column. They all add up to the team that has the most points at the end of the 5 riders wins.
Right.
There are coaches. There's a challenge for a re-ride, like if the bull's horn gets caught in the starting chute or something like that, that it's not a clean exit. They can throw the challenge flag, and the judges will look at it, and if they agree, they can get a re-ride. There's also instant replay challenges where if it looks like it was close,
right,
when the rider gets thrown off and the judge called it no score, but they think it may have been 8 seconds, they can look at that. So the entire time, you start cheering for a team.
Right.
And then as soon as that game's over,
we were cheering for the Kansas City Outlaws, even though they were going up against Nashville. Let me go ahead and tell you something.
Nashville's not great.
They both
didn't
put up a 0.
Yeah. It was a big goose egg. The Arizona Ridge Riders are incredible.
There was
the Austin team also was really, really good.
They had like 5 people mark.
Yeah.
Out of 6.
It was really good. So
that's crazy,
but it's super fun. And because that game you get to see 5 games per session, and they don't last forever, but there is a reason to cheer. Like I started finding myself cheering for like the Carolina Cowboys against whoever they were. Like, I was like, okay, right now I like the way they're riding. I want to pull for them. And there's lights, there's pyro, there's live announcers, there's music, there's like the starting lineup videos.
Well, and it's also
very well produced.
It's also too, because of the teams, it's like there was a guy going last, and they were like 40 something points behind. So Joker only really needed to stay on the bull for 8 seconds.
Yeah.
And you're just like, go, 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 go. Yeah.
And he did it. Yeah. And
that one he did it.
Yeah, that one he did.
I thought he didn't do it.
No. There was one where he needed a quarter of a point to win, and he got 3/4 of a point over.
Oh, that was
one was like you lost your mind.
But then this one to beat him, he got like thrown off like 7.5 seconds or something like that. And it was like, and I think they challenged it, and then he got a no score, and then they lost.
Yeah.
But it was
cool.
I'm telling you right now,
I'll go again to that. It was such a fun event.
I will pay a lot of money to go to that.
Yes, absolutely. It is coming to Nashville, so I'm super excited about going to see it.
Here. If you like video games, like, you're gonna love this.
It almost felt like an esports event for some reason, but
it's like the lights cool. And they had pyro, and there's this huge screen, and it's like, yeah. And the great part about it is like once the bull riders start, it's pretty quick. If there's not there's not a challenge or an official review or anything like that, it's like, boom, he's out there now. It lasts 8 seconds, maybe 10. But honestly, the show, like half the show is watching that bull and see how pissed he gets.
Oh yeah, when the bull throws the rider off, and they have the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol bullfighters, that as soon as the guy gets thrown off, one of them just goes and smacks the bull in the face.
Did you say U.S. Customs?
Yeah.
Is that the same office, Customs and Border Patrol?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Man, when I think
because you go through customs at ports of entry, which is a United States border.
Well, yeah.
You don't know. It's called the CBP.
See,
Customs and Border Patrol.
Well, why does it say U.S. Border Patrol on it and not CBP?
It said U.S. Customs and Border Patrol.
It did?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
pretty sure.
It's in the video that we released.
Right.
So
He was just saying.
we'll have to zoom
Did we
up on
release a
that.
video?
Yeah, we play, right? Didn't we?
I don't think we released a video, bud.
Oh, because I don't have the full quality one. We can't. I didn't want to upload it from my phone to freaking YouTube.
Thanks for the $5 super chat, Daver. Cheers, drinking some crappy French beers. You got some Konigsberg, $16.99, something like that. Tell us what you're drinking, man.
I would just
Strasbourg.
I would assume that you haven't heard of these beers.
Well, I've heard of that one. That's
Is that
a French beer.
Is that a crappy beer?
I mean, it's a French beer. It's like a French
he's just
lager.
saying crap French beers. Like he's just like saying French beers.
Yeah, I think that's what he's drinking.
Okay, $17.99.
$16.99.
$16.99. Is that the price, or is
no?
that
That's like the year.
the year of
Allegedly, our Lord.
That was okay. Well, that was 0 BC, but sure.
Yes, we're talking about the clowns dressed as Border Patrol. They're actually sponsored by the CBP, and they have a booth out front. I think it's genius marketing.
It is. Yeah, for sure. That U.S. Border Patrol guy on the horse was legit. Like you could tell that dude.
Well, dang. Clint Adkins, dang fellas, I wish I'd known y'all were there. I was there also and love watching y'all in bourbon. Well, dadgum, ain't it a small
Well,
world?
we were pouring free whiskey.
Yeah.
You didn't smell
walk
it, Clint?
through the Outlaw Days and see
You
us,
didn't even.
Clint.
He didn't even smell it.
Man,
I was line
sucks.
dancing.
That would have been awesome. How cool would that have been? That would've been
Yes.
great.
Yeah, that would have been freaking rad.
That would have been like top memory.
You know what the top memory was though?
What?
Friday night.
Oh, Friday night was a top memory.
Oh
We
got in the bed at 3 a.m.
we had, I think a little later than that.
We slept till 9 though.
9:30. I did get up till 9:30.
Oh yeah, you did do that.
Yeah, it
It
was
was like,
great.
we're getting up and down. We're going to break.
So we had a good time. That I loved the event. I can't wait to go back. Like I'm going to watch it on TV. It's made well for TV.
100%.
Well,
Well, now that you know, I really do encourage people to go
yeah,
because now that you know, you can kind of fill in the gaps. Because like when you're watching on TV, or at least when I have, I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
right. You watch a little bit of it, but there's nothing to keep you there. Really, like I know that this is probably like blasphemy of saying I'm not into it for it being a individual sport.
Yeah.
But it hooked me with the team action, even though they're still individually competing, they're individually riding, but the collaboration, their strategy behind it. And I mean, that is the entire point, I would think. Pro bull riding doing the
100%.
team series is to get more people to pay attention. And I think they're doing a home run.
100%.
I never thought that's something I'd be saying is like, I'm now really into this. And I think I am.
The one thing I didn't ask them is, I mean, I'm assuming, is there an individual season outside of the team season?
Yeah, I think they still have PBR regular.
But do they do it at the same time?
Don't know.
I feel like there'd be a conflict of interest there as far as like health reasons.
Well, I don't think so. I think you can ride many rodeos.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying like, you know, like, oh, you got to go do this team thing, or the team could get upset if you took individual ones. I don't
think so.
Let's just say a smaller rodeo.
No, I don't. Well, first of all, I bet those guys are probably only doing top tier events anyways. So they're not necessarily going to do smaller rodeos. I think
they
Dalton,
got sponsors.
It showed Dalton's earnings, and he's over like the past 3 years, he's made, I mean, like compared to other professional athletes, this isn't like an enormous sum, but he's made like 700 grand over the past 3 years. Like you're doing well.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure that's not,
that's not sponsorships.
Yeah. And that's not the entire, he's number 6 in the world. Like, so obviously he's at the top of his game. I don't know that the earnings of others, but there was a mention of how,
but dude,
people can get like $50,000 bonuses and stuff. There was a coach that said, I'm doing a re-ride challenge to try to get another rider, because it means a lot if they can hit this and get like a bonus. So I think there's a lot of that we fully don't know the rules of, and I'm going to really, really get in there.
Clint, circle back up on that, Clint. By the way, Clint, I just want to know, like,
he said, glad y'all enjoyed it. For what it's worth, I was the voice that you heard doing the starting lineups and other stuff. What? I really wish we had known.
Clint, your voice is great.
Yes,
Like,
dude, that is
why
so
are,
cool.
Like, why are we on here?
First of all, Clint, send us a message. We need to link up because there's a good chance like we're going back next year.
Right.
For the Outlaw Days thing. That is
Yeah.
super cool. Send us.
I was actually going to ask him. I was like, "Hey, man,
if you're on Instagram,
is this your first time going to one of those events? Like, what'd you think?"
If you're on Instagram, DM us at the podcast or send an email to thepodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to talk about it. But dude, I loved it. I thought it was so cool, and I'm glad. And yes, the voiceover work was incredible. Doing the starting lineups and everything. That is
well, no wonder he didn't pass our booth and drink some whiskey.
Yeah, he was a little busy for the day.
He was doing stuff.
Yeah, he wasn't there as a participant. He was there as a voice of humanity.
Isn't it unbelievable that we can go to another city and just like be brought there to pour and drink whiskey?
Yeah, well, that was the best part is that our whiskey tasting was completely free. There wasn't really, it was just to have something cool in the street.
Right.
And there were so many people that were like, you want free whiskey? And they're like, what's the
catch?
What's the catch? Yeah. Like why?
We don't even
like,
know.
No. And they're like,
she's like, are you going to force me to buy one?
Yeah. You're going to try to get us to buy one of these brands. I'm like, no, they're like, we have no relationship with these brands.
Right. We're trying these for the first time. A lot of them for the first time.
Yeah.
With you. Like, I think when we finally opened up, one of the Union Horse. Yeah. When we opened up one of those, I was like, I haven't had this one yet. I'm going to have it with you. I did love that the bull riders shot it.
Oh yeah.
Shot the 20-year-old
$200 bottle. And they're just
like,
they're like, we're really into whiskey. We drink it after almost every event.
Oh man,
it was great.
I want to be those dudes.
You know what's?
I will never be those.
You know what was awesome about the T-Mobile Center too? That's the arena. Super clean. The drink options were amazing. They had like little tiki bars, which was super fun.
And frozen margaritas.
Yeah, and then they had a Benihana. A walk-up Benihana in the arena. So Greeze and I got a little hibachi action.
Yeah.
Got some steak hibachi. Yeah. You flirted with every hospitality person you came in contact with.
I did. No, I didn't. I didn't flirt with this one. She flirted with me.
No, she was shocked. She looked at your ID for the beers and she goes, "Whoa."
Yeah.
And I go, "He's old, isn't he?" And she goes, "Yeah, I was not expecting that."
She's like,
because you look younger.
No, she said, because you look great. Like you don't look, you don't look old. And I was like, you know what?
You said to her,
you're my favorite person.
You said to her, you are the most attractive person I have seen all day.
And that's what I did say.
And she goes, oh, she got flustered. Call back. She's like, oh, and then you left her a 20% tip, which here's my favorite.
It was
$100. The tip was not $100.
No, it was $20.
My favorite thing is that you go, man, I'm giving you a good tip, 20%, which is supposed to be the
normal.
Standard.
No, I know that, but here's the deal. It was like the next to last one. Like if you go full on, it's 25, but it was like good, better, amazing, wow, or something like that. And I was like, no, wow, and then amazing. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So I hit that and then looked up at her and said, wow. But here's the deal. A lot of those people don't get any of those tips.
Yeah. So I was curious about that at like an arena because, like
at the Nashville soccer stadium,
they
don't get a single penny. Don't tip.
That's actually illegal.
I know.
Yeah. They can get in a lot of trouble for that. Like, Garcia's restaurant here in town got in trouble because they were not
Tito's.
Is that the same company, I think. Yeah. They weren't tipping. They were taking the tips and using it to pay the cooks.
Yeah.
That's what they were using to like pay the hourly wages of the cooks. And they actually got a huge lawsuit against them. So got in big trouble, which they should. That's not good.
That why guys are gonna like if and it was during the pandemic too. Like they were coming out to my car and like bringing me stuff. And I got so mad. She was like, Do you have cash by chance? Because we don't get to keep any of this.
Josh Cawthon says, "Man, I wish I'd seen you guys were here. I'll have to make sure to bring some Union Horse with me next whiskey weekend." Josh, the Union Horse cast strength rye, so good.
Yeah, it was.
And the 4 grain. The 4 grain was really good.
I don't think I had any of
the 4 grain was really good. I was a big fan
the
of
cast strength rye was great.
Yeah,
it was good. I was pleasantly surprised what Kansas City had to offer.
Yeah,
I was.
Yeah, no, the Power and Light District was really cool.
I'm talking about whiskey, but yes.
Oh yeah,
the Power and Light thing.
I mean, like we went to great places. We went to a Speakeasy. We went to a barbecue restaurant. We went to all that. The food truck we had was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was solid.
They
have a dadgum Benihana in the T-Mobile Center.
Right.
Pretty great,
as you do. But no, I mean for the whiskey. Was pleasantly surprised.
All of those were good, and I'm a big fan of that Mean Mule. By the way, Mean Mule.
Tell them the story about
it. So basically, Mean Mule is 100% blue agave like tequila. It's just not made in Mexico. It's made in Kansas City, so they can't call it tequila. They had one that was gold.
I call it a tequila,
like a reposado, and so it was aged 8 weeks. And then they had one that was called Heritage, which is like an añejo, and that was aged over a year. Both really good. I think it's like $39 for the gold and like $70 for the añejo. But the Mean Mule brand it's their family. Their great grandfather was a moonshiner, and he would take his product on carts up to St. Louis to sell. And the cart was pulled by two mules. So one day the taxman, the revenuers came to bust up his still.
Right.
And broke into the barn where the still was and where the 2 mules were. And one of the mules attacked him and like beat him up. And there was 2 agents. Yeah. They both ran off. And
you're sounding like the mule used his hands. Like
he kicked him and bit him. I'm sure.
Yeah, because it's like, dude.
I think people understand what happens when a mule beats you up.
Yeah, he just did. I was like, don't mess with our moonshine, bro.
Yeah. So that's the name. That's where it comes from. And so they just kept that. And on it is a picture of a mule kicking like a guy in like a bowler hat and a suit, like a typical G-man. So that's great. Loved it.
A little bowler hat, little G-man.
You know what a G-man is?
No,
Government man. Have you ever seen Untouchables? Oh, no. I'm sorry. You haven't. You haven't seen any movie ever except for Moana. Frozen 2.
I've seen that one.
Sing 2.
You've
seen
2.
all the 2s.
I have seen
there are a lot of sequels. If there was Untouchables 2, you would have seen it. Regular Untouchables, not a Kevin Costner fan.
My first Harry Potter movie was the last one. With y'all in the theater.
That checks out.
Yeah.
You're like, what is going on? This is wild. Who's this Voldemort guy? Why can't we say his name?
Yeah. What? They couldn't say his name?
Can't we say his name?
They couldn't say his name?
It's he who must not be named. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's where that phrase comes from.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Sweet baby.
I thought it was in the Bible or something. I did. Like when people use that phrase, I'm like, oh yeah, that's in the Bible somewhere. Probably in Revelation.
Oh man. Andy Payne. Where is his nose?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Bald headed guy.
So then we went back to the room after the event. We ordered some pizza from, what was that place called? Something fat.
Sully?
Fat Sully's?
Fat Sully's?
You have your phone? You probably have a digital receipt.
Not looking at it.
Okay. It was really good. We got a 20-inch pizza.
It was
and Patrick didn't want any.
It was the biggest.
Greeze goes, do you think 20 inches is too big? I go, nah. No, that's like a normal size.
He did. Like, and he said it with such confidence. I was like, all right.
Size. And you go, that's almost 2 rulers.
I know. It was.
Yeah.
I was sitting there looking at him like, that's a pretty big pizza, Will.
Yeah. And then comes in the box.
Then we like, get it. Yeah. Enormous. I'm like carrying a single box.
Yeah.
Which felt weird too, because I've never been like, pizza's here. one box. But I also was like, I'm pretty sure this thing is huge.
I don't know if that thing's going to fit through the door.
Right. So I brought it in there, and it's 8 of the most ginormous slices. Dadgummit. That's right. She said, okay, I'm not going to read it.
Yeah. So that was a fun.
You got to watch
it was
YouTube
fun
if you're listening,
fun
podcast people.
experience getting that giant pizza. And
Yeah. It was so good, though. It was so good.
Yeah.
It
And
was, it was like a New York style pizza, but it felt, it was insanely like an Italian made it.
Yeah. It was really good. It had,
his name's Sully.
They were like smaller pepperonis that kind of like cupped up and contained grease in each bite.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
I drank that with some 12-year Pendleton rye. It was really good out of a plastic cup in the hotel. Did we finish it? No, we left some for Patrick and he didn't eat it. Greeze ate over half of it and I had 2 slices.
Yeah.
So
I think there was 10 slices. Does that sound right?
I mean, it just depends on how they cut it up. So
pretty sure it was 10 slices. I had
5. That was our trip. We woke up, we left at like 7:10 the next morning to go to the airport. Went to a really inefficient Starbucks inside. Oh, I didn't tell you this because you weren't with us while we were waiting for Starbucks because you were like being waited on by us. You went and sat down.
What was I doing? I was doing something.
You were doing literally nothing. You were doing stories on Instagram. You would not hang out with us. You went and sat by yourself and did.
I went down the airport to see if there was anything good.
And then you came back and went and sat down instead of being a bro.
Dadgummit, do y'all not know how to freaking ban somebody?
No, it only times them out. It's something.
Don't worry about
it. It didn't work last time. It's not a big deal. They already did it again.
Block user.
See. Anyhow, it's all good. So we we get there, and I forgot to tell you this. Our Uber driver, we're like already going. He's like, "Oh, hey, William, you mind if I stop for gas?" Oh God, I'm just like. That puts you in a really weird.
Number one, he was just we waited 10 more minutes than it said, and he was not moving. He was just sitting there.
No, that was the Uber driver the night before. This guy was there right away. You're mixing up the story.
Oh, we're going back to the airport now?
This is the next day.
Okay.
I don't mind that guy. These were 2 different people. Yes, we were going back to the airport.
I minded that guy. The guy didn't come and get us because he was trying to call international.
That's not the story I'm telling, though.
I know.
And you hijacked it and was like, "What? Oh, wait, what?" First of all, you conflated 2 Uber drivers. That's kind of offensive. So he goes, "Do you mind if we get gas?" And I mean, like, what are you going to say? Like, well, can you make it? Or like, it's a weird question. You should have gotten it before.
I guarantee it was because it wasn't because we were going. I think it was because, like, if I get a ride out there, I'm not near a gas station.
Well, it's also fair because I don't think they tell you anymore the driver what the destination is, because too many drivers were like denying certain rides because they're like, oh, that's too short or that's not worth it. So that's fair. But so he pulls over and gets gas at the shadiest gas station.
It's the one we saw on the way in.
There were posters advertising for like how to use your heroin, like PSAs on the side of the gas station.
There was like bars on the windows and like some shady deals going on in the parking lot.
Right. Next to the heroin signs. And so we get there, and because he's pumping gas, on my Uber app, it pops up and it says, "Are you okay?
Yes.
You've been stopped for a long amount of time." Yes. And had a top line that said, "Call 911, call customer service, record audio to send to Uber if you feel unsafe." Like, had all these options. And I wanted to be like, I mean, there's an unexpected delay, but there was no option for that, of course. All I wanted to do was click like, he stopped for gas. Can you give me some money back on this ride? But
because it was hot as crap and he turned the car off. Like, out of all the times
to leave, turn the car off.
You don't have to.
Yes, you do. That's actually, I think, the law.
Legally, you have to.
Okay. So then we came home. That was the end of our trip. It's super fun. Do you want to do a buy bar pass little 15 action? Or
not really.
Are we good?
I think I'm
good. I
think
it was good. So
We had a lot of whiskey this weekend. I mean, literally on Friday, we started drinking at what time did we get to the airport? Like 4?
yeah. No, we got there at like 3:15.
3:15. We got there at 3:15. We started drinking immediately.
Yeah. I mean, we got, I think, to the bar.
Yeah,
at
and we
3:15.
didn't stop until 2:30. That's when we went back to the hotel and Jamie kept pouring.
Right.
We drank for 12 hours.
Yeah.
We did good.
And actually felt fine the next day.
Because you said it earlier. You were pounding. I was pounding water.
And it was paced throughout the entire night. It was paced through 12 hours.
And we had a meal.
And I will say that bagel, top notch. Great bagel.
Yeah, you did love that bagel.
Yeah, I got an everything bagel with some pastrami'd smoked salmon lox and some capers. Really good.
That sounds really good. And then Patrick liked his turkey one. I just had a sesame seed with plain schmear.
Yeah.
And
you always
need to
follow my lead.
It was fine.
I'm always doing better things than you.
I don't love the smoked salmon.
Have you ever had pastrami'd smoked salmon?
No.
It'll change your religion, my friend.
Is it like that ham that you got me that one time at Carnivore?
No, but similar type thing is if I'm getting something like that, just follow my lead.
You're not wrong.
All right, folks, that was our trip to Kansas City. Thanks to Brad with Future Boy Creative who hooked us up with that, and to the Kansas City Outlaws for their hospitality, to the PBR team series for doing what they're doing, and I would also say thank you to
Naked HD.
Yeah,
we appreciate you coming tonight and
enjoying it. Finally blocked that bot. I also want to say thank you to Clint Adkins for his sultry voice announcing that lineup and for watching.
Did you ever do the Adkins diet?
No.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. Why would I have that? I
love meat.
I think I was in high school when that came out. It was unnecessary.
Oh yeah.
If you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, ring the bell. That's a lot of fun. It helps us out. If you're listening on a podcast app, go ahead and subscribe, leave us a 5-star rating and review. It really helps us out. We'll read them. We'll read any new ones on the show next week. So go ahead and do that.
Oh,
also,
we will?
Yeah.
I love that. I'll print them out.
Also, you don't know how to. You don't have a printer. If you want to support this channel directly, you can go to patreon.com/thepodcast. There's a lot of levels. Town Hall level is a very fun one. Greeze and I host these monthly Zoom calls. We get a little wild. We tell some stories that we wouldn't tell on air many times. And it's always a good time with a lot of new friends that you'll meet. Check that out. Patreon.com/thepodcast. If you want exclusive barrel picks from Will, Greeze, and Bob and James, it's Oak and Thieves Barrel Company. Go to oakandthieves.com. If you were to sign up right now, there are several bottles available to go ahead and you can go ahead and purchase. There are 2 Nulus that are available. There is a toasted rye Nulu and a straight bourbon. And there is also 2 Starlight picks. There is a double oaked bourbon, which is fantastic. And there is also a double oaked rye, which people have been posting about how crazy good it is. So if you were to sign up at oakandthieves.com, those are available. You don't have to wait around to get a release. We've got some bottles available for you right now. So check that out at oakandthieves.com. Grease, you got anything else to push?
To push?
Yeah.
I was going to say hey to Mama Marsha.
Go ahead. I love that she's been watching tonight.
Mama Marsha.
She may or may not have clicked the bot link.
Fire out of you. Yeah, don't click the bot, Mama. Yeah. Don't do that. I miss the fire out of you, Mama Marsha.
I miss her too. She's a sweet lady. She's sweet. The greatest of all time.
She is the greatest.
Yeah. All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We don't know jack,
but we'll drink it in Kansas City.